Okay, okay. Hey, listen, bro. How about this? How about this? I'm not even going to introduce this. This is you go ahead and do the introductions tonight, man. You know what I'm talking about?
All right.
Where you at with it? Did you freeze on me?
You can't hear me?
No, I can hear you. I'm waiting for the introductions.
Oh shit! My bad. All right. You ready?
You got it, fam. You got it.
All right. This is Sunday Sit Down with the OGs. You have myself, OG Cali Blue, and you have my man. Heat Detector. On the wheels and still doing our thing. You understand what I'm saying? And we here to talk and discuss some facts and to find out some solutions. You understand what I'm saying? This show is built on finding solutions. We don't want y'all to think we some old heads and we just out here just bitching and griping about nothing and don't know what we talking about, because everything we talk about we got knowledge of. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So basically,
I gotta say this real quick, bro. We're only seeing half of your fucking head.
Of mine?
Yeah, it's like right. We ain't getting your full face. You in incognito mode right now? Yeah. Okay. Now we got half of your face again. Damn, sound like you doing construction work up in that bitch. Now, but talk to him, G. Talk to him, man. Talk to him. I'm gonna fall back.
So basically, this is what we're here for. Today's show, what the fuck is this? Because basically, you have young kids playing around with guns, supposedly toy guns, allegedly, with switches on them. And then you have teenagers killing teenagers, all in the name of a game. People, we gotta come together, and we gotta think about solutions for this, man. This gotta stop. Our kids are dying and going to prison at the rapid ass pace, man, and it's crazy.
Alarming rate.
And it's crazy, and it seems not too many folks are trying to find solutions about it. But I do
Talk
find
to
out
him.
folks are talking about it, but ain't nobody trying to find no solutions. You're posting it on your platforms, but you're only posting it on your platforms. You're not posting it to find solutions. You're posting it to get plays. And that's not what
Thank
we're here for. That's not what we're
you.
here for. That's not what we're
No,
here for. I can care less
no.
about the plays. I can care less about the clout.
Talk to him.
It's more about these kids going the path that they're going, doing the things that they're doing, disrespecting their elders, not like it was back in the day when we came up, when everyone had respect for their elders. Nowadays, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
respect for no one, not even their own parents. You got 10-year-olds killing their parents because for a virtual headset. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And we as OGs, as the men who the men, little men, supposed to look up and aspire to be like, need to start addressing this. We need to start
Or,
addressing it.
or the men that we say that we are, because a lot of motherfuckers say that they're grown. I'm a grown ass man. Are you? Are you?
And it's all about your actions. It is all
Hey,
about your actions. Your actions tell if
Blue,
you're a grown ass man. You can say that shit all day long.
Blue. I call you Blue because we got a repertoire of friendship like that. But this is the OG Cali Blue, right?
Right.
And maybe you don't know his background. Maybe you don't know the nigga is official, but he is. He's official. He's official. And we've had multiple conversations, in-depth conversations, and he's very passionate about what he says and what he does. And so tonight he's gonna lead this goddamn show. And I am going to be the co-host tonight. And you know what I'm saying? Not that there's any difference between who we are and how we do this show in particular. But tonight I'm gonna let my mans talk, and maybe I'll be able to get a word in here and there. Talk to him, Callie.
Basically, my bad. I'm trying to let some people know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Got to still handle some business to get some heads up in here. So yeah, man. It's crazy, man, because my man sent me this post with the Chicago teams playing with toy guns with the switch on it.
Right.
My first question was, where the hell did they get it from?
Let me ask you this real quick. That motherfucker look like a whole real gun, because people are making guns now that look like toys. They're making them different colors. They're putting their own designs on them and shit. So how in the fuck is a motherfucker supposed to think that shit ain't real? Because that shit look real as shit. It's the same dimensions, the same size as a fucking Glock 9.
It's everything. It's everything. So why am I to believe it's a toy? That's number one. Number two, who in their right mind makes something like this and then gives it to a child? I'm just that just blows my mind, especially in the area that you're in. To me, it just seems like it's all a setup to lead these kids, to keep them kids doing the same freaking thing that they've been doing.
Right. Self-destruction.
That ain't a gesture that's made to stop them from doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, you watched that video, right?
I did.
And what would the other kids' response to that video? Talk to them about that. Like, they were like, oh.
Man, they was in love with it. They was in love with it. They was hyped about it. You know what I'm saying? So what makes you think that this is something that's going to deter them from trying to kill somebody? It's not going to deter them.
No, that's
fuel to real. It's going to make them want to go get a real gun.
See how that shit really kick back.
You know what I'm saying? And then see what really happens when you aim and pull the trigger on somebody.
I got something for you right now. This is so important. And I don't mean to cut you, bro, because you running this show tonight. Let's be very clear. But I got somebody who does work here in Chicago that I had humbly asked him to join in. And a lot of people know her as Rose Red in the city as a singer, as an artist. But what they don't know is that she went back to school, got her master's degree, and now she does work in the inner city. And I thought it would be great to have her on the show. I should have told you, but I wanted this to be kind of a surprise because she works directly with the very shit that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it would be good to hear a woman's perspective because, again, we don't want to be these angry ass old niggas just saying shit just because we think, you know what I mean, like we're mad or whatever. But let me bring her in because she just hopped in. My apologies, bro. Next time I'm gonna let you know, but I thought this would be very great.
That's all good.
Rosie.
Hey.
Talk to this man because this is my guy. I told you about the show and I told you how important this show is, and we're not. I mean, let me shut up, my man. You can go ahead and talk to her because you know the importance of the show. So you talk to her and you tell her the importance, and I'll let her talk, and I'm gonna sit the fuck back and shut the fuck up.
Well, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
I just have to warn you, I'm at the end of dinner, so I will be closing out and stuff like that during this conversation. But I understand it's a very important conversation. I did want to be part of it, and I didn't want to take too much time away from the conversation. So thank you for allowing me to join you this evening.
You're welcome. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we basically talking about these kids having these toy guns.
Let me show it.
Yeah, I did not know about this, so I apologize for my ignorance. So I'm looking at it right now. Kids in Old Block, Chicago got toy guns with switches.
You know what the switch is, right? It's the thing they put on the back.
They can pop them.
No. They put it in the back of like a real gun, and it makes it fully automatic. So a handgun like that will shoot like a machine gun.
Oh wow! So they really want us to kill each other, and they're gonna send us straight
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Where are they even getting? Like, what do you mean they got them? Where did they get them from?
That was my first question.
It's a toy, but it's the same dimensions and the same size as a real Glock. Now imagine a cop, and the kid's got that in his fucking pocket.
Right.
Well,
it's terrible.
I mean,
thank you.
And see, my thing, as far as the area that they're in, you already know the area that they're in.
Right.
This doesn't help at all deter them from doing anything crazy. This only boosts their want to do something crazy, in my opinion. I mean, this is crazy. Like who would put this in the neighborhood like that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know who? I
of course.
No. Rosie, really say who? We don't. Around here, we don't say we know who. We say who.
The government. It's the government. So let's.
Uh-oh. We know what it is. You know, we know what it is. But what do we say every time, Blue? We say for every problem there is a fucking solution.
Yeah.
And I brought Rosie in here for a reason because she does work. Talk about the work that you do, Rose. Uh-oh. We can't hear her. We can't hear you, Rosie. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. But anyways, we got to keep conversation going at the same motherfucking time. We can't hear her, but this is crazy, and we ain't even got into the other shit yet.
Yeah, we ain't even gotten to the two teens in Atlanta. You know that was arrested for killing two other teens. One boy was 12 years old, and it's crazy, man. That the level of violence, and see, this is where both of them plays in together. At that the level of violence between our young people. It's like, man, it's alarming, bro. It's alarming, and I'm trying to understand is why aren't people doing more to stop it? You know what I'm saying?
And
Nobody's conversating about this. Nobody's conversating. As far as our platform, I think this is probably the only one I've seen that's dedicated to this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I know for a fact that Rosie deals with this kind of shit on a daily basis in the type of work that she does, and the type of foundations and the work that she does within the communities. We can't hear you, Rose. We can't hear you. Jump out and jump back in. Yeah, she does this kind of work, so she's like hands on. You know what I'm saying?
She in the trenches.
Yeah. And she's out there. And this is a woman, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to like blow her up or anything like that because I know her personally. You know what I'm saying? This is a woman who dropped out of fucking high school. She's a singer. She's done a lot of amazing things in her career as far as like that is concerned. And I know this ain't about that, but the last few years she put herself back to school and got her master's degree and made it a point to go into the neighborhoods and do the work. You know what I'm saying? She's got her feet on the ground in this very things that we're talking about. And so I thought it would be great to have a fresh perspective from a woman who understands, because she has brothers, she has cousins, you know what I'm saying? Uncles and shit. And from a woman's perspective, because, you know, bro, we don't argue about it. We agree upon these things. But the fuck, man, sometimes it feels like it's an uphill battle. We're just treading in the mud going uphill. You know what I'm saying?
Well, basically, it is an uphill battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you got to think about it. We got to fight to help change the mentality. That's a hard thing. That's a hard thing.
Especially if it's decades deep.
Exactly. You know,
mental.
If you got that mentality, I'm going to kill them before they kill me. Then it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle. You know what I'm saying? Because
it's 3 feet of mud. Like we're peeling out in our wheels trying to get to the top of the real solutions and to the problems.
Exactly. And when you only got 2 people, you know what I'm saying, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. But the longer we do it, the more people we bring aboard, the more people get to understand what this platform is for.
Right.
Some things can begin to happen. But, you know, you got to make a start somewhere. And this is our start. This is our start. You know?
All day long. So let's get into this other part of it, which is the teenagers, these young motherfuckers that just killed the young motherfucker. Because I can remember back in the day, you know what I mean, when somebody 12 or 14 or 15 got shot, that was like, yo, somebody fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Now these kids are killing kids. Remember back in the day when they were saying, let me just say this real quick. Back in the day when they say babies killing babies, they were talking about 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. They weren't talking about 12, 13, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds. You know what I'm
saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? When I saw this, man, and you know what? It pissed me off because it showed the 2 teenage shooters celebrating after they did what they did. And I'm like, wow.
Online, I bet.
Yeah. No. They was in front of cameras. The cameras caught them, you know, dapping each other up, laughing, smiling, you know. Like, and I'm just like, wow. You know, after y'all done just killed somebody, this is how you do. Like, there was no remorse. There was no, you know what I'm saying? They weren't even looking around for no cameras. They was just like, it was nothing. You know what I mean? Just all
hey, I gotta say some shit on that, because who do we blame? Because a decade, all right, we're all elder here. A decade before, like, where was we? What was we doing?
Yeah. But see, at the same time,
let's take another 20 years. Let's say another decade on top of that. How old was you? How old was Rose? How old was I? And what were we doing?
Fighting.
Did we get
We was fighting. At 12 and 13, no, we wasn't carrying no guns. We
no?
wasn't, you
What
know.
I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is some of those things were perpetuated because that's the lifestyle that these young kids already had to grow up into.
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that it is even safe to say, like, yeah, we weren't carrying no guns, but those who were in gangs really were, especially in the
Yeah.
90s. You know what I mean? Like, we're not so far removed from the way we grew up from the where they're growing up now. I think right now the difference is that it's more glamorized and it's more in your face
Mm-hmm.
and it's more easily accessible. Where
Mm-hmm.
before, like, it was easily accessible because we had we had gangs, but the gangs were like really established to like protect us, right? Because we had a lot of racial violence and we had a lot of discrimination and stuff like that, where the discrimination now is coming from the top to the bottom. You know what I mean? It's not from the
Oh,
bottom to the
oh, oh,
top.
oh, oh.
So it's
Right, right,
like
right, right.
these things are different, where the way it's glamorized is in the music that's being pumped to our youth, is being pumped to us. That's what's the mainstream music. The reason why there's this whole um like left and right wing side is because of that. Is because now the white people's children are getting involved in this, like this
Yeah,
subculture
we didn't even
that's
touch
being
that
brought
yet.
to the front in the mainstream media. Now there's a
Mm-hmm.
problem, but it wasn't a problem when we were doing it like amongst each other, because that was our cultural expression. Now it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's an
Right,
expression of to gain monetary gain, right? It's not like
right.
these kids, a lot of these kids that are making it don't even live this lifestyle. That
No.
before it was a cultural expression. Now it's like, oh yeah, well, you know what? Since you guys made it famous, now we're gonna let y'all kill each other and we're gonna let you guys show everybody how to spiral, you know what I mean, and
Yeah,
destroy each other. And it's hard because it's like you want to sit there and be like, don't you see what they're doing? Right? Don't you see how they're
yeah,
trying
right,
to make us kill each other? And then you want to sit there and be like, you want to say positive stuff, but we're still struggling, we're still fighting for our lives, we're still fighting um for economic advancement, and we're still fighting
Mm-hmm.
for our even fucking food that is healthy for us, you know what I mean, in our
right.
own neighborhoods. And it's those type of things that are the symptoms that allow for this to continue, this perpetual cycle, you know what I mean, to keep us in this cycle of violence, poverty, you know what I mean. And it's all glorified in the music. But the shift is like people be like, oh, well, they've been singing about this stuff for 20 years. It's a difference. Before it was cultural
Yeah.
Yeah,
expression. Now
Yeah.
it's monetary gain. Now it's just
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
cool, to continue the cycle of violence. And it's different. It's
And
not the same.
that brings me to the point. Like back in the day, you think about how many genres of rap we had. You had
Conscious
the
rap,
conscious,
the
you had the
backpackers,
party,
yeah.
you had all that. Now everything is drill, 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 drill. What happened to all the conscious rap? What happened to the party rap? What happened
Which
to the love rap with LL Cool J? And you know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
what
Well,
happened?
I mean, we could sit there and say, like Young Blue and even Kevin Gates, you know what I mean? They do speak about the love and stuff like that, but it's still like this undertone of violence. Like
It
even if they're
outweighs
talking about a
everything.
girl, like,
It's
it's
always
still
the
so
violence
violent.
outweighs everything.
Yeah,
Everything. So
I agree.
if you got more violent songs playing than you have love songs playing,
Absolutely.
you know,
hmm
it's
And then
And
funny.
what?
I feel like I'm really sad that our culture right now, this I was saying, I'm not gonna say our culture, but the social media culture is so quick to share stupid ass shit. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? The most
mhm,
violent, ugly, the ugliest shit, the more, the craziest shit, like,
mhm.
but anything positive, that shit that don't get like 50 million shares, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
Right,
it's
right,
no.
the
right.
stupid shit. It's the stuff that could kill you. It's that, like,
Mhm,
if we were just to ignore that shit and just scroll up, that shit wouldn't even make it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
because, and you know what? I'm not even. I'm gonna become after this one, right? I'm not even 100% convinced that we're even sharing the shit. Honestly, you know what I mean. I feel like
Ooh,
when
that's
it's put
something to
up,
think about.
in front of our face, it says 65 million views. It says all these crazy ass numbers. Like, who really to say that that's it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's being pumped down our throats. Like, I'm gonna tell you something really personal. I have a 13-year-old daughter, and I know we're like 8:58, but she was going through a really hard time through the pandemic. And a lot of these kids who are 12 and 13 and 14 years old was all being faced with suicide. And she told me one day, she said, you know, Mom, she's like, I'm going to tell you something. She's like, do you know that after like 11 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the nighttime on your For You page and all that shit would turn really, really ugly and really, really morbid and really, really weird. And it made me feel so ugly inside, but I just didn't know how to like say it. It was just like, it made me feel, first of all, like ashamed that I was watching it, but at the same time, like this is my For You page. This is supposed to be the stuff that I like. And I feel like when she told me that, and I was like, this motherfucking agenda. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? To kill our youth. You know what I mean? To pump
God damn it.
their social medias and their, you know what I mean, their feeds with all the shit that is sent to destroy them. You know what I mean? And we could sit there and we're parents,
This,
right? We don't know shit. We don't know
Yeah.
shit to
right.
mark
Yeah.
this. We
No,
ain't been through
no, speak
shit.
for yourself.
We
Speak
ain't
for
been through
yourself.
shit.
Nah, we've been through the shit. We've
No,
been
to
through the
them.
real
I
shit.
think to them we ain't been through shit. They always act like we don't know
Right.
shit, you know?
Yeah, they think we don't know shit, but we've already been through this shit like 10 times over. You know what I
That's
mean?
what I'm saying. And it's
Yeah.
it's just I don't think that it's unique as a parent. I don't think it's unique as a
Because it's
30,
not.
40-year old. I just
Not.
think that it's more stronger. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah. Well,
The
the
energy is more negative.
social media has the biggest imprint on this. By the way, let me just say, Jizzo
Hey
said,
Jizzle.
talk to him, Rose. Plenty of conscious hip hop in Chicago, whatever. Yeah, not discounting you get Jizzo, but like for real. But one of the things that like I hear you, Rosie, because I have an 18-year-old daughter. She just turned 18, right? And people used to shame her and try to do things. And I told her, I said, why are you living your life online when you have a life? You know what I'm saying? You have to differentiate the
Differentiate,
two.
yeah. To
Mm-hmm.
you?
Mm-hmm.
Understand that's the internet. And listen, very true shit, because me and my man's was talking about it earlier, and I said the internet will always be undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna win against the internet. And if you take in this type of energy and but let's be very clear, the parents have to be fucking aware of this shit.
It
Yeah.
is. And it's a
Definitely.
it's a weird balance because it's like you don't want to isolate your children either. You want them to
Right.
be able to participate. You want them to be able to evolve and know current events and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, like where do you draw the line? Like this screen time or whatever. Like, okay, I could give my daughter 2 hours of screen time, but what's she gonna spend it on?
Yeah.
I know personally, when I get online, sometimes like if I go through my Rose Red page, that shit ghetto as hell. Like I have so many people on there, like 4,000 people on there, right? But then when I go on through my personal page, you know what I mean? Like it's real positive, it's cool, it's calm. Because I don't think it's for everyone to know what every single person is thinking. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Like there are certain things that you should keep
But
private,
that's not the ideology of these kids now, because they
bro.
No.
feel like they need to know what every single person is thinking and how they're doing and how they're being judged by their pictures and all this other nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah. And your likes and your views and all that shit. You know, that's everything to them youth now. You know what I mean? Social media has when social media came out, man, it basically became like a dark cloud, man, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got so freaking consumed within social media that's like it's like if you look at everybody's phone, look at nobody really conversates nowadays. Everybody's looking at their phone while they're talking to you.
I
Remember,
agree with you, but I also think that there's a upside to it. And the fact, like, I'm gonna tell you two things. Number one, when my daughter tried to ask me some stuff or she says some shit that I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you got a whole computer at your fingertips and you choose to scroll that instead of looking it up on Google. If you ask me the same question, I'm gonna look it up on Google. Like,
but
look it up
Google
on
is not
Google.
the answer to the answer. Google
Right.
is not the answer to the answer because Google is also another form of
Right. No, I know, but I mean just like regular stuff. But aside
yeah,
from
yeah.
that, one thing I think we can take that is good from this younger generation using social media or whatever is the building of self-confidence. But there's also a dark side to that. But the positive side is that they're seeing themselves, right, in a light that our parents did not allow us to see,
No, what they're
right?
seeing. No, you're right. You're right on that. But
I
because
agree. I agree.
they're seeing themselves in real time.
Right.
And when you see yourself in real time, there's that like I'm gonna say some shit really stupid right now, but it's very,
Humble. It's a
very
humbling experience.
yeah. It's just like a guy does something, he fucks around on his wife or whatever, and then when he walks away, there's a walk of shame. Same with a woman, there's a walk of shame. Like, what the fuck did I just do? You know what I mean? And to make it in context, that's the feeling sometimes they have when they post something and they go, shit. After it's done and over with, they go, why the fuck did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
And the craziest part about it is that the internet has no friends. And once it's out there, it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And dealing with that shit, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with the outcome of making a fucked up post or doing something, people making a meme of you. You got to live this shit for the rest of your fucking life. You're the guy who did that one thing. But this is a testament to the parents, though.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, both of you. There's an old saying that says, as a parent, we are yet the staff and our children are the boat, the arrow. And our only job is to pull back, let go, and know that basically saying we know we did our job. You know
At
what I'm
what
saying?
point, though? I mean, I'm 40 years old and I still call my parents. You know what I mean?
No,
Like, at
I mean,
what point?
what I'm saying though, the analogy that I'm trying to say is that you
No, I
can
know.
only do the best that you can.
Yeah.
Because I always tell my kids that I already fucking know when you walk out the door, I don't even know how you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I know what I do inside this motherfucking house.
You know,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
have, like I said, I have my daughter and I have my stepkids. You know what I mean? And I try, and we're all musicians. We're a super musical family, right? And
Yeah.
it's really important for me because I know they're all like, man, Rosie, you always so smart or whatever. Like, yeah, but you know what? I'm I came from where you guys came from. Your moms
You
are
had to
struggling.
work for it.
Yeah. Like it's the two worlds. And I think I'm really, really heavy on trying to make them see that there are different worlds out there and that there are different
Yeah.
aspects of life to live. Like, okay, you can come from this world, but that don't mean you gotta stay there. Number one. Number two, half of these rappers
Yeah.
out here that you see, they're rapping about their life. A lot of them probably live that, but they don't live that no more. But they're still showing you a lifestyle and glamorizing a life
Some of
that's
them never
completely
lived it.
And see,
Some
and
of them,
then what they have to understand too, that a lot of this stuff is an illusion. A lot of these
exactly
guys don't. A lot of these rappers don't have what they say they have. You know
no.
what I'm saying? A lot of
And
them
we
got
talk
the
about
swag
budgets
and
and
all this
stuff.
stuff, and they don't really have the money, the house, the cars, and you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's an illusion. So then when you get these youngsters, and it's a good thing. Like for me, rap helped me because it helped me control my emotions and help me control my thoughts, make me not go out there and do nothing stupid. I can think whatever I want to think and put it on this paper. You know what I'm saying? So it helped me in that aspect. But I'm like, where did that go? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it was therapy. Now it's just like it's either for money, it's either for the
clout.
fame, It's
Same.
either for the clout
Yeah.
or it's either just to say you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
For
Because
clout.
I mean, I see a lot of people. I see a lot of posts, and they say like, this the Memphis rapper such and such," and I'm like, well, "Who the hell is he? I've never heard of him before." You know what I mean? But then you go to his page, and he got 100,000 followers, and it's like, well, where did he come from? But then when you hear the music, it's nothing but death and destruction,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
pain, and you know what I'm saying? Like damn,
Yeah. One thing I try to tell my kids, right? I have two boys and a girl, and I tell them, I'm like, look, all these neighborhoods we run through, that we drive through and everything like that, don't you see the disparities in between them? Like, don't you see one neighborhood's like this, one neighborhood's like this one got a whole lot of different empty lots, this one got a whole lot of this. Like, I try to put in their mind to see where the government is pumping drugs and guns, and you know what I mean, and that's just being completely honest. I'm
I'm
like,
glad you
you
said that.
guys,
'Cause I was about to. Yo,
I'm like, you watch Snowfall. I'm like, that shit is real. I'm like, I got a master's degree. Like, I studied this shit. This is all government issued stuff. I was like, but our job is to rise above it. And I was like, and it doesn't mean that you gotta be a lame. It doesn't mean that you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, be like, oh, I don't do that and be bougie and fucking stuck up. It's not that. The thing is for you to recognize that when somebody is your op, the real op is the government, the people who are trying to kill you. I said,
Mm-hmm.
who's the real
God
op?
damn
It
it,
ain't
bro.
your boy across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Who gave y'all the guns? Who, like, the scammers? Like, who taught them how to scam? Is their family or whatever? Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? Because that's they hustle. But like, that ain't it. It really ain't it. Because when you watch them, you'll see where everybody ends up. And I'm like, please
Mm-hmm.
watch Snowfall. That's some real ass shit. You know what I mean? It's documented.
That's the real Rick Ross that they're
It's
portraying on there. By the way,
documented.
yeah. But they made it into pop culture
Right,
shit.
because you got to speak somebody language to get to them, like, for
Mm-hmm.
real though.
Exactly. One thing stuck with me. My mom used to always say when she used to always say, "Watch your surroundings." When you see that person go through something, and when he catch what he catch from it, that's a lesson for you to learn. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
And that kind of stuck with me. So I kind of, I used to, and I did my dirt. I didn't gang bang, I didn't rob, I didn't stole.
We
But
didn't all,
at
we
the
didn't
end
all
of
do
the
it.
day,
Man.
it
We didn't
was
all
my
do it.
choice to do what I did. You know what I'm saying? It was my choice. I didn't have to. My mother was a great mother. You know what I'm saying? I got everything I wanted. It was my choice to do the stupid ass shit that I did. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say, oh well, it
And
was my
it's
surroundings
important that
and
you share that too. You know what I mean? Because
exactly.
some
Yeah.
people,
Hmm.
it's so important
Yeah,
for you to be
And
exactly.
real like that.
I can on the opposite spectrum of that. My mom was a shitty mom, but there was a lot of things she gave us in life. Whenever she had a moment of fucking clarity and a moment of fucking her sobriety, she would say certain things like, please don't do this, please be like this, please be this way, and that way, and conduct yourself like this, and know that it's not necessarily where you're from. Know that sometimes you only get one chance to prove who you are in that first encounter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even though she was fucked up and drugs and everything, those are the gems in life that she spit to me and my brother and my sister, and that I personally hold on to this day. Rest in peace to my mother. But those are the things I don't hold on to, the bad shit. I hold on to the greatest shit that she ever said to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we lose that as well, because these motherfuckers that are parents right now, excuse my language, but these motherfuckers that are parents right now, they're, man, go to Walmart, go to any store and see a basket full of fucking pre-made food, and nobody knows how to cook anymore. Nobody's doing, these girls are, you know what I mean? It's all Pop Tarts and fucking shit, and
Hold
Microwave
on.
go to
shit.
Hold
the,
on. You can't 100% talk about the kids when our families are being torn apart. When there's me, I'm a single mother. As much as I do, I have a 13-year-old daughter. You don't think that I want to be home to, you know what I mean, teach her how to do these things? I don't have that luxury. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I don't have the luxury to teach my daughter to make arroz con gandules at the moment. I don't have, you know what I mean? Granted, when
Right.
I'm cooking, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, get your ass over here because you need to learn how to cook. But you know what I mean? It's like, I don't have the luxury to stay here
Even
and cook
boys,
every
I'm a
week.
boy. Rosie, I'm a boy. I fucking was in the kitchen with my
I'm
mother
just
when she
saying.
was cooking.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying it's not
yeah,
that exclusive. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. It's not that
Hmm.
exclusive because even when my mom was doing shit, I made it a point to be around my mother and be right there with her. And she was telling me, as a young man, learn how to do this shit so you don't have to depend on no woman to do nothing for you. My
And
Exactly.
that's
mom
Same
good
thing
on
my
your
mother
mom's
told
part.
me.
Yeah,
Same thing my
that's
mother
great.
told me. My mother told me my mother would pull me into the kitchen and I'd be hot. Why you got why am I in here? You know what I mean? And one thing
Mhm.
she said was, when you get grown, you're not going to be coming to my house talking about you starving because you can't cook yourself something to eat.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's a strong woman who knows that she's trying to raise a man to be self-sufficient. And that's a
Mhm.
great quality. That so y'all better go home or call your moms
Man,
and tell
stop.
them, thank you,
Well,
mom, for teaching me how to
I will.
unfortunately,
cook. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
my mother
serious,
was
because
murdered, but
there's a
you
lot of men
know,
out there
It's gone too. So
rely on women.
unfortunately, we can't do that. But what I do without that's funny, Dudu. Uh, but what I do is I tell my
I'm
daughter all the
sorry.
time. I tell her to be in the kitchen with me. Learn these things. Teach
Yeah.
them to your children when you get older. Teach them to your son. Teach them to your daughter. Teach them, because it's these are recipes and shit that come down from generations. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I'm the last motherfucker. I'm the last Mohican besides my sister, but she can't cook. She's stupid. Nah, my sister's not stupid.
You're
My, si-
bogus.
my sister's great. She's great. She's great because she might listen to this shit. She's great as fuck, but she can't outcook me. That's just the bottom line. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. But the moral of it, I guess, is that like certain like let's talk about your journey real quick, Rose, because I think it's important. Um,
In regards.
you how long did it take you to feel like you needed to upgrade yourself? When I say upgrade, I mean go back to school, do something, and because us guys sometimes are a little bit slower in that respect.
I've
You know what I'm
been
saying?
trying to upgrade myself. My education was my most important thing. It was education or and
Okay.
music. So I've been
Right.
people like I was at the I was at a place the other day, and this one of my guys was like making fun of me because he's talking about Rosie been in school since I fucking met her. She has 8 degrees and all this shit like that. I was like, nah, it's not that. It's that, you know what, you got to do things at your own pace. Number one. Number two,
Right.
life happens. You have kids. You know, like I left my in my sophomore year of college
Okay.
because
Don't woman this shit up. Don't woman this shit up.
no, I
Don't.
left in my sophomore year of college because I had a bid war on my group that I put together
Oh,
as a
right, right, right,
youth.
right, right.
So I
Mhm.
left and I tried to pursue it and stuff like that, but you know, drugs, boys, all type of shit got in the way. You know what I'm saying? When I got pregnant, I was like, you know what? I'm 26 years old. Ain't no fucking point in having an abortion. Fuck all that. I'm 26 years old. I'm a grown ass woman. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
gonna have my baby. And as soon as I found out I was pregnant and I decided I was gonna do that or whatever, I enrolled in school right away. Because hey, you know this other shit? Like, and I wasn't in the time where it was okay to be pregnant and be an artist.
Let
Women,
me ask you. Let me ask you this. Well,
the misogyny in the music industry at the time did not allow for that. Women like Cardi
right.
B and um, what's her name?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Not Megan Thee Stallion, before
Well, she went
her.
back to
The
school.
R and
Megan Thee
B.
Stallion.
Tony Braxton was, I think, the first woman who decided to have the first mainstream artist R&B who decided to have a cover shoot pregnant, and they dropped her
Right.
sales. They dropped her from the fucking label. This was they told me like you shouldn't say that you even have a kid because the minute Usher said he was gonna have a kid, his album sales dropped 50%. We're not gonna allow you. You You know what I'm saying? Like that's the era that I just had a bid war on my fucking career. Like you understand what that feels
Right.
like? Destiny's Child just came on. Like it was at that era. So, then I went and I signed a janky ass deal because of shit like that. It's stuff like that. You know what I mean? That
Wait,
it's
wait,
like
wait,
I
wait.
feel like
Let's
it's a
digress.
tax. It's a tax
Let's
on
digress
you
because a
being
lot of that.
yourself.
All right.
And yeah,
Hold
it's a
up.
tax like that on you being yourself and trying to excel and succeed in life that keep us down. You know what I mean? Instead of saying true to yourself
Yeah.
and
All right. I don't mean to cut y'all off, but you
time,
already know. My time is up.
time.
Yeah, but I'm still here though, Rosie. We can go for another 10 minutes because there's something that
You
I need
guys
to
can
say about
continue with the show. I go to work
love,
from here.
love, 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 love. You know what I'm
Already,
saying?
already. You already know I'm gonna tap back in with you. But before I go, I just want to say it was a pleasure talking to you. And I am OG
Likewise.
Caddy Blue. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And y'all keep tapping into the show. Y'all have a blessed night.
Man, my man's
Have a
man,
blessed
love,
night.
salute.
Love.
All right. Now, real quick, Rose. You took
Yeah.
that shit on some real woman shit, like real fast. Like that shit was the fast lane on some woman shit. But I get it. I really do. You froze. We both froze. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute.
I get it.
No, but yo, do you hear me now? Oh, yeah, you're moving now. Yeah, we froze up for a second. I hear everything you're saying, and everything you're saying is very, very, very valid. You know what I'm saying? What I wanted to get to, actually, was really like, what was your motivation to be an activist and shit like that? You know what I mean?
Word.
You're not gonna say nothing because we're still live right now. Suckerfish. The fuck? We keep. Oh, that's because your ass is driving.
Yeah, I'm on my way home.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. To recircle, you're frozen. Let me try this again. Let me try it. Let me this and do that. So what the fuck? Every time I move that shit. Because you're still frozen. You're jumping in and out. There you go. All right, go ahead. So you said to recircle.
To recircle back on the whole question or theme of guns in the hood and being pumped into the hood and stuff like that. Like that's like somebody told me one day, if the devil uses the same tricks over and over again and they work, why would he change his strategy? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If this has been going on.
I've heard that same thing, but
Yeah.
it's like this: if the devil uses the same tricks, is it still a trick?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, how many times can you tell your kid not to do something and then they end up doing it because they want to do it? I mean, it's just like, I don't know.
Isn't it like really disheartening sometimes? You know what I
It
mean? When
is.
you see
I would say
things
it
on
is.
the news and shit. And to be honest with you, like part of this not part of it, but the entire show of the Sunday sit downs, you know what I'm saying? And I'm keeping it going right now because I'm still sitting here talking to Rose Red. Even though my man's jumped out. It's okay. It's a hard pill to swallow, especially for us as parents, to see these kind of things happening all the fucking time. And the biggest fear is that the shit happens to our child. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think they understand. They don't even understand that fear. I told my daughter the other day, she was like, because you're talking about my son. And I said, do you know what the problem is? And she's like, no. I said, the problem is every time he calls me or I get a call about him, is that I feel like it's going to be he's been shot or something happened to him. It's not because he wants to talk to me or anything. It's because he's either in a fucking jam or somebody is calling on his behalf saying,
giving bad news.
Yeah. And I shouldn't have to feel that way. And then I go and I have to second guess myself, like, what the fuck did I do to make my son walk outside that door and act that goddamn goofy? And I know I didn't. But as parents, we got to understand when they walk outside that door, this is a new day, a new era, a new shit that these kids are fucking bombarded nonstop with shit.
Yeah. I think at this point, at a certain time, we have to accept that we need. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't be your kid's friend" and stuff like that, which I get to a certain extent. But I mean, if your kid can't talk to you, then who the fuck are they gonna talk to? People who are not gonna give them the advice and steer them the wrong way. Like you need for your kids to be able.
Oh, you froze up again. Damn it. I'm gonna wait for it.
About this because
I know you got to move around. What are you in a Hellcat right now? Goddamn, girl. That motherfucker saying, fuck you doing? You out there in the sideshows and shit? You froze again. So I think because you ain't even popping in right. I'm gonna wait till your shit gets right and real quick, like God damn it, Rosie.
I'm sorry, I gotta go.
I know you're moving around, but I want to say this. Thank you so much for jumping in. Thank you so much for your contribution, because you're saying things from a perspective that I respect and I understand and know, especially your work and everything that you're doing. So there's a lot of validity. There's a lot of validity in the words that you speak. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important, man. Thank you so much for jumping in. You know what I'm saying? We're working on an hour right now. Nah, but I had to. I really, I told my mans, I said, yo, next this is kind of sneaky shit I'm doing, but next time I'm gonna let them know who's, you know what I mean, because I wanted this to be very organic and you speak your mind the way you felt. You know what I'm saying? And not arranged or in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Because only you know what you think and only you know what you do. You know what I'm saying? So make a safe home and tell these people right quick, if you can, before you freeze up again. How can they find you? How can they get to you? Where's your shit? And you froze right when I said it. At least pull over for a second to say that. At least pull over for a second to say that. Okay. So we'll wait for a second and yep. No. Anyways, if you want to find Rose Red, you can find her at Rose Red, and that's with a Z, ROZ. Don't put an S on that shit. She don't like that shit. Find her at Rose Red Entertainment, I believe. I think everything is Rose Red. Rose Red Music, Rose Red, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure you type that shit in with a ROZ. You're now. Before I hang up, I want to say a couple of things real quick. You know, the Sunday sit downs we take very seriously. So anybody that thinks that they're going to come in here and just talk, say about their music or do whatever, no, this is not that. What we want is people to come in with ideas. We want people to come in with understanding. We want people to come in with knowledge. And as we always say in every show, you know, for every problem, there is an answer. For every problem, there is an answer. Meaning, if it's mathematical or whatever, there is a fucking answer to the problem. There is a thing that says, oh, that's the problem. Here's how we fix it. And so this podcast, the Sunday sit downs with the OGs, is not about being angry or disgruntled or anything like that. This is about trying to find solutions, trying to bring in the right people, trying to talk about issues that are happening in real motherfucking time. Okay. And you can think whatever you want to think of me from the Unwrapped show or whatever, but trust and believe this show is right here. The Sunday sit downs is very serious. And I take it very serious because I have children. I have shit. I have stuff. And I don't want them involved in any of that. And even us as adults, as parents, as motherfuckers who already done been through certain shits and certain things, we should have the wherewithal to teach them different. At least give them the information. So when they walk out the door and they are not within your reach and not within your ear sight, that they have enough knowledge to either move around or keep the head on a swivel and keep the shit 10 toes down. Listen, this has been Sunday Sit Downs, man. We the fuck out of here.